Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is a beer from Sierra Nevada. This is Hazy Little Thing IPA. So even a large craft brewery like Sierra Nevada has folded to the hype of Hazy IPA. So not quite sure if they're aiming for a New England style IPA, but from what I understand from the website, they are explaining that they are looking for less bitterness on this beer, obviously putting the hops later in the process, offering more aromatics and flavor in the beer. So I assume they're maybe going for something towards a New England style IPA. The beer comes in at 6.7%. First time for them to dig into this style. Really interested because they really are the progenitor of West Coast style IPA. So let's dig into this one. Beer comes in a deep gold color, medium to medium plus haze. There is a decent haze to it. But yeah, very nice looking beer. Let's get right on this one. I'm getting some candied citrus, maybe some papaya dancing in there, some dried mango. Pineapple, dried pineapple, actually, pineapple candy. Take back the mango. Yeah, and then there's this marmalade kind of character, orange marmalade, filled with the peel and zest of the orange specifically. A little bit of sweetness in there. Actually reminds me a little bit of the Two Roads Too Juicy. Cheers. Oh, that's weird. What is that? Huh. This beer should be pretty fresh. This beer is, yeah, about a month fresh, which is pretty good for Sierra Nevada, considering that I've had beers come from Sierra Nevada, Lagunitas, Firestone, that end up taking, like, only hitting the shelf, wanting to be fresh beers, only hitting the shelf about 4 or 5 weeks into packaging, which takes a while to get to the East Coast, but. So this should be pretty much as fresh as we probably get in New York, but back to the flavor. There is this kind of overripe, almost like rotten sweet fruit flavor dancing in here. It's not very attractive. It doesn't really remind you of the fruit flavors you want. Yeah, there you go. It sort of has that flavor of orange juice or a tropical juice that just has turned just a little bit, not quite there. You sort of have the feeling when you have milk sometimes that's maybe a day or two past due, or maybe your fridge is not at the right temperature. It's not quite the expiration date, but it sort of tastes a little bit off. It's a little bit of that kind of funky, past its prime kind of thing going on in here, which is strange tasting note for fruit. But yeah, it has that strange flavor. There is this kind of like chalkiness that I'm getting a little bit. The hops and that strange flavor tend to dominate the palate. Then again, the malts aren't really there, which is to style. Really not much bitterness to speak of. As you wait more, underlying it, you are getting what you had on the aromatics, that kind of dried pineapple pieces, some orange peel, sweet orange marmalade. Really not much malt backing it up to really remind you of actual marmalade. If it had this kind of sweeter biscuity kind of thing, it would sort of push that tasting note. Instead, it's just a light breadiness and even a little bit of grainy quality lingering on the background for that malt. So it's really the hops shining through, the hop flavor and that strange flavor I was talking about. Yeah, I mean, it is fruity, but it's not exactly the kind of fruity I'm looking for. And there's something else in there that's a little strange. Yeah, there you go. I think they definitely can hone it in. It does have a malt bill that I think could work with certain hop flavors. The lack of bitterness is fun. The appearance is great. Aromatics were pretty good. Just strange tasting beer. Not really quite there for what I'm looking for. So interesting enough. Yeah, as for rating. As you wait more, the fruitiness tends to jump out a bit more, but it's still not quite what I'm looking for. It really doesn't have familiar or attractive fruit flavors, which ideally is what you want in a beer like this. So let's go with it's still soft texture. It doesn't have sharp edges to it. It still is nice and rounded. At 6.7%, it actually drinks a little bit lower. It almost drinks like a hazy pale instead of really a pure IPA, and it is actually pure IPA and has tons of drinkability to it. The texture on the mouthfeel is nice. The malt does a good job. The lack of bitterness is well done. It doesn't have hop astringency or anything like that. Wow. Let's go with a 76 on this one. It's an arbitrary number, yeah. Sierra Nevada, hazy little thing. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.